Hi, everyone. We are live.
Hey.
Yay. All right. So, welcome. We have a fun show today. I'm so excited.
We're back. We're back.
We are back. I'm going to share on social media that we are now live.
All right. Very, very good.
So while you're doing that, maybe ask
I will
everyone,
talk to everyone who
like,
right now is 0.
That's
But it's still
okay.
early. It's
Started.
11:26.
We just started.
It's really right before people's lunch breaks.
Ooh. Okay. That's true.
So people have to be watching it very, very covertly. Oh, we have one so far. Hey, there's
Hey,
SkyTuber.
Woohoo.
Who is this?
And don't worry, we are about to start our show.
Yeah, we're sharing it, and boy, we have lots to go over.
Yes.
Lots of really, really fun stuff.
Of the Resistance.
Oh, it's a good friend, Reynold. Should have figured.
Woohoo!
Reynold Gobey.
Now we got that right.
Hey, do you have snow up there? So
Ooh.
jealous. So jealous. Uh-oh.
Oh, don't you start coughing now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, you're funny.
A tone.
Less. What? What happened? A tone.
Oh, a ton? A ton?
Oh, a ton.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Oh, now I'm even really more jealous. Put that in a box and send it on down. And Ethan. Hey, bro.
Excellent. Wow, that's without sharing on social media.
Yeah, we'll be starting in just a second.
Yeah, just making sure people know.
Ethan, where are you from? Right now we got Reynold, who's in Canada.
Cool. Yeah, I know that. Let's see. Canada shot. No, what is happening? How do I post? Man, Facebook keeps updating and it's weird.
Maryland. Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, so it's 2:30 for you.
Post. I'm gonna post in our Facebook group.
We're talking about snow and the jealousy that goes behind it.
Who has snow, y'all?
Well,
Who has
Reynold has
snow?
got a ton of snow.
He does.
Ethan has been snowing. Oh, it has been snowing on the East Coast. Well, Northeast. My sister got like 6 inches in Boston. This whole show to be talking about who's got snow and who's jealous. We don't get snow. We don't get to be a rebel spy. At least I don't. Doesn't hold true for you.
Oh.
All right, so we'll just.
We are ready,
What
I think.
is that?
What?
Oh, something on Facebook.
That's us.
Already went down to below 40. Oh, that must be Celsius.
Ooh. Hey, Michael. Oh.
Who's that?
That's the guy from. Okay.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
No, it looks like it's just a media release, something,
okay.
not an
Oh, that
invite.
guy.
Hey, it's
Hey, Kelly Turkel.
Why haven't you say we mentioned it? We're saying it wrong.
So glad we got that. Wait, we were getting Reynolds' name wrong for so long?
Yeah. You guys need to tell us. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I
went through that
recalibrated this thing.
When I was in school. No one could pronounce
Hey,
Woloski.
know-
No one.
No?
Is it Molosky? Voloski? You're looking right at it. It's a W.
So, my main name is Heitman, and they would say Hitman, Heatman, Heatman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitman was my favorite. That was fun.
But if you look at Woloski, you just pronounce it the way it looks.
Yeah.
Woloski.
Well, some people would say Wolowski, which I can understand. Because it's not spelled law, like L-A-W.
Yeah.
But once I say it's like law, it's a law.
Did I ever tell you who the first person to ever get it right outside my family?
No, who?
Mickey Dolans.
Really?
Mickey.
You said it right?
Yeah, at a
Aw.
Monkeys convention, everyone could write down a question to ask, and he picked out my question, and he said my name, and I was so excited. Hey, Marcus Doring. You know what? This is before the time of iPhones. Well, you know what? I was going to say before videotaping, but there I was in the audience of this Monkeys convention. I had my big dyno camera on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if I've got that on video somewhere.
Oh, you probably do.
Huh. I'm going to go look. I'll be right back.
No. I want to show
That would
them.
take hours.
I don't know if you guys noticed,
Oh.
but I have succumbed to, oh, we don't even have this set up, our mics. I've succumbed to the Spirit Jersey madness at Disneyland. And I talked with the fangirls, and apparently it's more of a Disneyland thing. They don't have as many Spirit jerseys over at Disney World because it's just too hot for these kind of long sleeve things. But at Disneyland, these Spirit jersey things with stuff on the back, you know, the big writing, is like the biggest thing ever. So,
Now, are you saying Spirit or Spira?
Spirit jerseys. Yeah, they're like the biggest thing ever. And so they released a Mandalorian Spirit jersey. And I know on the 5th, January 5th, Richard, you and I went to Disneyland and we went to Star Trader and they were all out of anything Mandalorian except for phone cases, which I had to get because I'm, insane. Anyway, but so they were out and I was sad. And then we went back on the 16th and they had them all in stock and it was Richard's birthday. And so we bought me a present on my birthday.
On my birthday.
On your birthday.
When I'm happy, when you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes, it worked out great. So I like your birthday. Okay. So now, hello. Hello. Oh, that's better. Hello. Why is this? Oh, just 2. Okay. That's 2. Now, Richard?
Yes.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking at this new book that's coming out in October of 2020. Ooh,
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, October.
Yeah. You will a Jedi you will be. A Jedi you will be. Teaches you how to use the Force.
Ooh.
October. Wow.
Okay, so, are you ready, Richard? Are you guys ready?
We're always ready.
Okay.
No, we're not.
I'm going to hit record.
I'm gonna cough some more.
Please don't.
I have no control over this.
All right, here we go. This is what you can look forward to on our Rise of the West Coast Resistance episode 274 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! We're back! And we've risen to the resistance. And now we're on the other side. And we can't wait to tell you all about it. But right now, we want to welcome you all to Skywalking Through Neverland. We are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. I am Richard Wolosky, your tour guide through the many decades of fandom. But now everyone please say hello to my baby Yoda sweetie wife, Sarah.
Hello, Skywalkers! That's right, I've succumbed to the Spirit jersey trend at Disneyland, and I had to get the Mandalorian Spirit jersey, which means it's like this nice, comfy, long-sleeve shirt that's in this fun mint green color, and on the back it says The Mandalorian all across the back, but on the front it has the cutest ever little baby Yoda face. Like I'm wearing him in a little like papoose, right?
Like one of those hangover Zach Galifianakis.
Right?
He's got that little baby and that little harness on his chest. It's like the same kind of idea.
Okay.
The little Yoda is like almost like, you know what? I would equate it with like a kangaroo.
Yes.
Oh, we get the
pouch.
little pouch with the little kangaroo inside.
Only it's up a little higher.
Now it looks like little baby Yoda's in this big giant pouch.
And if you're watching us live on YouTube, you can see it.
And I love when you wear this shirt because you're very easy to find. It's a very, very mint green.
Yes, very bright. Although, Richard, you got lost at Disneyland on the 17th. Why was that?
I'm not recalling this.
Because everyone's wearing this shirt around Disneyland.
Yeah.
So you started following someone else.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm looking down at my phone, I was trying to post something, and out of my peripheral vision, I see this lime green shirt walking away, this mint green shirt, so I'm following this person, and all of a sudden it wasn't you. But she had the same ponytail, the same hair color, so, you know, who can blame me? At least I didn't put my arm around her like I've done before.
Oh,
but I
no.
thought someone was you.
Really?
Oops. Moving right along. Oh, you also got the Baby Yoda phone case.
I do. I'm a little Baby Yoda obsessed.
I just dread March when all the Baby Yoda stuff comes out.
And you know what March is?
Your birthday.
That's right. It's my birthday month.
So you know what? I'll just give you a gift card and just go nuts with all the Baby Yoda official merchandise that's coming out.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Skywalkers, we want to thank you for listening to the show every week. If you're just tuning in now, welcome. You are now a Skywalker. And also, we want to say a big hello to all our face huggers out there, which of course are the people who are watching us on YouTube. And that didn't make any sense at all. And we also want to welcome all of you on YouTube watching us live right now.
The SkyTubers.
That's right. We just love it when you share our joy in this adventure through fandom.
It's so good to be back. We are recording this from Long Beach, California on January the 22nd, 2020.
Woo!
Now, Sarah, gotta ask you, how many more days from today is the Rise of the Resistance? Oh, I guess we can cross that one off.
Yeah, 0 days.
0 days.
It's happening now.
All right, we'll go on to the next event, and that is how many more days until Star Wars The Clone Wars streams on Disney+. Plus?
Woohoo! Well, it's official. The new trailer released this morning said that it will release on February 21st on Disney Plus, which is a Friday, which makes sense. I guess previously they had said it would release on February 17th, but now it is February 21st, that Friday.
So these last few podcasts, when we kept saying February 17th, we'll go back and re-edit those.
No, you won't.
No.
All right, well, there's exactly 30 days since today is the 22nd.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the trailer was released today.
Yes.
The new official trailer came out just this morning. It was an action-packed trailer. So many great things buried in that trailer. Do you want to give us some of your highlights, Sarah?
Oh, sure. Okay, so it was about 2 minutes, right? And there was a lot of Ahsoka in here. And so they teased a bunch of things. There's this beautiful shot of Ahsoka on a speeder bike, kind of driving away from the city, and there's a sunset in the background. I thought that was a gorgeous shot. And there's some moments where she's talking with a new character. And I know that there will be some like Ahsoka walkabout episodes where it kind of shows what she's doing after she left the Jedi Order at the end of season 5.
As far as I know, this is the first time they've released this story arc. And I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I want to see the galaxy from her perspective, in this perspective. And she says something interesting in this trailer, which is, we were trained to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers. So because she's not a part of the Jedi Order anymore, like that shroud that the Jedi Order has over their heads about the dark side, it's not over her. So I think she can kind of step back and see more than even the people in the Jedi Council.
That's very reminiscent of a line Mace Windu had given Palpatine in Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
We're keepers of the peace, not warriors.
Yes. Well, same thing.
Right. All right. Now there was one thing buried in the trailer that I'm sure a lot of people had seen, and that is Kanan Jarrus.
From, of course, Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, there was a hologram table, and there's the Jedi Master Deepa, and right beside her was this little kid.
Yeah, like a Padawan or I
Yeah.
guess a Jedi. What is that called when they're, not the Padawan, but when you've become a Jedi?
A Jedi.
But you're not a master?
Jedi Knight.
Okay, yes, there you go.
Yeah, so he's at this point he's still a Padawan.
Okay.
Because we see his rise to being a Jedi per se in the comic book. He was never really anointed Jedi because, well, they were wiped out before that.
Oh, that's
before
right.
he was able to become into that next level.
So what we're actually seeing in the trailer is Caleb Doom,
Yes.
which was Kanan's name before he changed it and kind of, made a new person out of himself.
When he was on the run.
Yeah.
From the new Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting to see. We see a lot of Captain Rex. We see a lot of Darth Maul.
Ugh.
Another lightsaber battle between Darth Maul and Ahsoka.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And there was that one shot of Darth Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber that was very reminiscent of that first time we had seen Maul in the Phantom Menace trailer.
Yes, definitely.
Great shot. And we see Anakin and a hologram of a not very pregnant, but a pregnant Padme.
A baby bump Padme.
Yeah. So you gotta assume that Anakin sees this. Because in
Well,
Revenge of the Sith,
yeah.
she's revealing to Anakin that she's pregnant, and he's all surprised. So maybe her hand is over her baby bump.
Right.
Maybe he, in a part we haven't seen yet, he's like, "Why are you hiding your tummy? Move your hand." No, I'm good. I'm good, Anakin. Let's just move on.
I do like that shows that there's going to be some quiet moments in these episodes beyond just clone wars. Like, there's a lot of war and a lot of exciting action.
A lot of character building moments.
Yeah. So that sounds cool. And also, I mean, we're going to get the Siege of Mandalore arc in this final season. And if you think about it, I mean, this happens kind of during Order 66, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's happening?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's going to be some monumental, like, choices happening in these episodes because you're dealing with clone troopers, and then Ahsoka who's leading them. And, I mean, if Order 66 comes during this time, there's going to be some crazy action. And there's a moment in this trailer, which I didn't notice until I was freeze framing things. There's a moment where Ahsoka is like has a hand of a clone in her, and a clone trooper in her hand, and she's like looking down, just very, very sorrowful. So I can't say that
Sorrowful.
word. Sour, yeah, in her eyes. She's just very sad in her eyes. So you know she probably had to strike that clone down.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of sad moments coming.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're gonna try to tie this in with the Mandalorian. And we may see one of these planets that are succumbing to the Separatists right before the Empire takes an effect, and maybe we'll see a very young Din Djarin.
Right, or that Night of a Thousand Tears.
Oh, there you go.
Will we see that?
Yeah. Because Din, the Mandalorian, was born right around the Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
So it is possible
Mm-hmm.
we might see a very young Din Djarin.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be very, very cool. And come on, Dave Filoni. You love tying things together. Please do this for us.
I bet there's some kind of cameo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Woo! Well, there's a lot to talk about in this episode, so I think we'll move on from here. But...
Oh, you know what? Let's do another countdown.
Oh, okay.
How many more days until Star Wars Celebration Anaheim?
Woohoo!
Which will hit Anaheim on August 27th.
Awesome. Okay. Well, according to my notes here, where it's conveniently written, there are 218 days until that point.
Do you know how fast that's gonna fly by?
Oh, so fast.
All right.
But you know how fast this next countdown is going to fly by?
Tell us.
Okay, well, how many more days, Richard, until Star Trek Picard?
Well, that's coming out tomorrow. So there's only one more day.
One more day. Ah!
Wow.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you are. Are you more excited for the series or to see your friend again?
I'm excited for the series to see where
You're excited to see Patrick Stewart again.
Well, where Captain Picard is going, because really, I do love Patrick Stewart, but as Picard, like that's my favorite. I mean, he is Professor X. What's his name in Xavier in X-Men, and he's cool, and I love that he's in there. But it's Picard for me. So Don't worry, it's a fictional character, Richard.
Oh, I'm worried. Believe me, I'm worried. All right, Minnie, gotta ask you a question now. What time is it? Oh, come on, Minnie. You've had 2 weeks to prep this.
I know.
I know. 2 weeks.
Okay, ready?
It's 11:44. Good morning.
It's still morning. Yay!
All right, Sarah, then I've got a question now for you. Who is sponsoring this episode of Skywalking Through Neverland?
We are proudly sponsored by Small World Vacations. They are a diamond level Disney vacation planner travel agency and will help you book your trip to Disney parks around the world. And 2 of those Disney parks has Rise of the Resistance in them, which is just, well, we'll talk about it this episode, but it's amazing. And best of all, their service is free of charge. So just head to smallworldvacations.com and ask for a no obligation price quote and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
I'll edit that one out. All right, now coming up on this episode of Skywalking Through Neverland, we're going to share our experiences at Now, coming up on this episode of Skywalking Through Neverland, we're going to share our experiences at the Disneyland press event for the opening of The Rise of the Resistance. We rode it again and again and again and again.
And then again on opening day for our Skywalker meetup. So we'll also share some of those experiences.
Yeah, we would have ridden it more times on the press day, but it was shut down because Bob Iger wanted the whole ride to himself.
Yeah, what the heck, Bob?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. And we're going to have our reactions, a running gag that went terribly wrong, and we were able to get a few minutes with some Disney Imagineers.
Anisha Deshmani and Kelsey McCullough, they deal with the Play Disney Parks app, and so we learned some more about that app and its update with Rise of the Resistance.
Now, we want to thank our good friends James Burns from Jedi News and Trisha Barr from Fangirls Going Rogue, because they're the ones who helped us get into this press day at Disneyland. And we want to thank Disney for scheduling this particular event on my birthday, January the 16th. So many good friends. So many good friends in high places.
It was so amazing. Awesome.
Now, Sarah, how would you describe Rise of the Resistance in a quick blurb?
Okay, I would have to say, and I have to say that I'm stealing this from one of the Imagineers, but the attraction, it's not an attraction, it's an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I definitely would say. And then if I had to make up my own words, I would say it's Star Tours times 4.
Times 4?
Well, Star Tours plus 3 more rides.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I would say, at its best, it is immersive theater.
Okay.
Let that one sink in. Now, all along, we know that Galaxy's Edge is very immersive. Now, this is immersive theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go more into that because it's not just an attraction. You don't just sit and watch. You're part of it.
Yeah, and we'll let you know when we're going to start talking a little spoilers. We're not going to, spoil the whole thing like it was spoiled for us by some of the Imagineers, but we'll get to that later.
Yes. Yes. And you can see our video that highlights the entire press day, our new YouTube video, which we just released today, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to show you, and we'll show you some of the new food, some of the new drinks, some of the new merchandise. There's the new Ben Solo lightsaber from The Last Jedi, and Rey's forged lightsaber from Rise of Skywalker.
Reforged.
Okay. Ben's new lightsaber from... okay.
And Rey's.
Okay. And you can see our full adventures from that day on... Whoa.
Sorry, sweetie.
Now, you can see our full adventures from that press day on our new YouTube video, which just came out this morning. We'll talk with some chefs behind the new food and some of the new drinks. We show off the new merchandise, like Ben Solo's lightsaber, as seen in The Last Jedi, and Rey's reforged lightsaber from The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, still no sign of the new Rey's lightsaber at the very end of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's hoping that's coming too.
Yeah, this is Rey's / Anakin / Luke's lightsaber that they now have at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. Only difference is it's got this little leather strap on it now.
It does. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, also in the video, we show highlights from the ride, not the full ride through, and we also talk with the Imagineers. So,
lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, and we have our immediate reactions too, it's just and we also have some fun cameos by Scott Trowbridge, the head executive Imagineer, and also from Holly Fry, who is from Full of Sith. So yeah, we ran into her and we ended up riding several times with her.
And who else made a cameo in the video? Donald Faison.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Hype Faison from Star Wars Resistance, and Turk from Scrubs.
And he's in Clueless.
Yeah, so once again, go over there to our YouTube channel and check this out. It just came out today, and we're so excited about it. All right, Sarah, now let's take everyone through our press day, January the 16th, commonly known as my birthday.
Woo!
Now, we got there at about 7 a.m. We checked in, got our swag, and then headed over to the Main Street Opera House, where they had 2 tables full of merchandise and the food and the drinks, and they had a little buffet set up for us, very nice, but we were so interested in all the new stuff they were showing off.
Oh yeah, especially whenever there's new food at Galaxy's Edge, it's like, let's see some of this. So, should we get into what the new food was?
Please.
Okay, so they showed, first of all, a hot drink, you guys. There's a hot drink in Galaxy's Edge. It's Black Spire Hot Chocolate. Woohoo! Now, the only thing different about this hot chocolate is that it has purple whipped cream. And I guess it's supposed to be, what is it? Brown sugar whipped cream instead of like white sugar whipped cream. And then it has slightly, it's like, it has some bedazzling stuff in the whipped cream that makes it look a little shiny.
Now, how does this differ from regular hot chocolate?
I think it just seemed a little more dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. Much more rich.
Yes, rich. Yeah.
All right. Then there was the Toydarian. Then there was the Toydaria Swirl.
Yes.
This was an awesome drink. This was how would you describe this? It's based from the green milk from the milk stand.
Exactly. So it comes with the green milk, and it's meant to kind of mimic what Toydaria looks like. You know, with the red and the yellows, I guess, or
Okay.
I guess the greenish. I don't know. So it uses the green milk, and it has chili lime seasoning and also mango jelly. Now, the mango jelly, we actually tried it the next day, and it ends up being like little chunks of mango at the end, at the bottom of your drink. So you're actually eating some mangoes, which I thought it tasted really good. It was a nice blend.
Yeah, we had it. Will you have it again?
I will, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. This is not something you'd want to get over and over again,
No.
but it does hit the spot. It's a good drink to nurse.
Yes.
Whereas the blue and green milk beverages, you tend to drink pretty quickly. But this, it's thick. It's got a lot of deep flavors, and you want to nurse this. Not something you can just chug.
And I'm not a spicy fan, but I do enjoy chili spice, chili lime, and it didn't seem too spicy to me.
No, not at
But
all.
one of the reasons you have to nurse it is just a little spicy. So
Yeah.
if you have, if your taste buds have mellowed a little bit, like you do when you're older, you'll probably like it a lot.
What are you saying?
No, as kids, I don't think kids are going to like this drink.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the spiciest, I would say it's like a 2.9.
Yeah. I would go there too.
Now, how about the food? Like these Galma garlic puff cheese chips, which I have right here.
Well, Richard, why don't you talk about these? Because I think these were your favorite.
Oh, these are very good. I'm gonna enjoy one right now. Mmm.
That was a really good crunch. Can I have one?
Yeah, very garlicky.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
it's very garlicky. So if you want your breath to smell bad at Disneyland, have some of these.
Like we say, when you're going to Celebration, always bring some Altoids with you. Yeah, you want to have some Altoids with you after you have a Galma garlic puff chip.
All right, so Kelly Turkel is chiming in that the Toydaria swirl was good, not too spicy, and better than just the green milk. I do agree with you, yes. And then Courtney is chiming in about these. Oh, she says it was too salty for me with the chili lime. Okay, so the Toydaria swirl.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. I don't want to get these again because
You do?
Yeah, because we took these home with us and we've been snacking on them for the last couple of days.
Yeah, we have.
It's not something you'd want to eat
Like
the whole bag. The bag's not that big, but not sure you'd want to eat the whole bag that day because wow.
Or share it.
A stench that would come out of you. Yeah.
It's very garlic.
Very, very garlicky. Yeah, I want to go back here to a question that Reynold had asked
Okay.
about the joke gone terribly wrong. He says, "Did you press a red button again, Rich?" We'll get into that in just a few minutes.
Yeah, he did something with the red button.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit.
Yes.
And now for the new merchandise, they didn't have that much, not as much as I thought they were gonna have. Of course, you're gonna have all the new shirts.
Yeah, the new search with the Rise of the Resistance logo on them, which you can get in Star Trader. You cannot get these in Galaxy's Edge because they have the logo on them.
Yeah, as we're finding out, you can get a lot of Galaxy's Edge merchandise on Main Street or the Star Trader because people have smuggled them out. Which is smart because why have everything just in one area? You want to be able to move these products, so why not? It makes sense.
Yeah, they also had a new playset though. And
Yeah.
tell us about
it's
that.
the first order cargo pod playset. In the very end, when you when your cargo ship in the ride brings you to the drop area, that ship that you're going into is this
Oh.
cargo pod, and that brings you back to Batuu.
Okay, mind blown because I just got that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
And it comes with a little black R5 unit. Yeah, not something I'd want to spend $75 on because it's like a brick.
Yeah. Oh, we have some chiming in from
Okay.
YouTube. So Jay says that those chips, the Galma chips, were not his favorite. Let's see, and he likes the blue milk better than the Toydaria swirl, but hot chocolate was amazing.
It really was. We'll have to get that again and again.
Yes, and Dustin is asking, he'll be there for the first time in March. Should I hit
Oh.
Rise of the Resistance first? Well, Dustin, hang tight because we're gonna share some tips for that.
All right, and they also, like we had mentioned earlier, Ben Solo's lightsaber from The Last Jedi, which I did not see them making because we just see this for a few seconds
It's
on
true.
screen, and Rey's reforged lightsaber. But why not make Leia's lightsaber from from Rise of Skywalker, or Rey's lightsaber, her new lightsaber, when
Leia.
his little dial she flips,
Oh, it's so cool.
and a yellowish gold light beam comes up.
Now, a tip on that, because we were talking with a cast member asking why they don't have Rey's lightsaber there, and they said that if you build your own lightsaber in Savi's workshop, if you choose the elemental nature, I believe there are some elements in there that you can almost make a copy of that. But obviously it won't...
Rey's or Leia's?
Of Rey's lightsaber. Yeah.
Or you could double down and have an actual Rey's lightsaber at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
I know.
They would sell so many of those.
They would.
All right, so Sarah, from there, they let everyone into the theater for a panel that featured Scott Trowbridge, Margaret Kerrison, John Lorena, Kirsten Michaela, and Anisha Deshmane.
Deshmani.
And Anisha Deshmani. And we say John Lorena.
Well, first of all, these are all Imagineers. We're in the Main Street Opera House, so they're like in front of Lincoln, although they have Lincoln
Yeah,
hidden.
so it's a panel
Yeah.
where they go over the ride.
Yeah.
And they do. They go over every part of the ride.
Yeah, so Scott Trowbridge, he's the executive Imagineer and kind of introduced everyone and then asked John, who he's not in charge of story, but he is the executive creative director of this attraction, and so he asked John to tell us a little bit about this attraction.
And
To
for
which-
months,
For months.
we've avoided spoilers.
Yes.
Didn't want to see what particular animatronics were going to be in the ride.
Didn't want to know the story necessarily. No, we'd seen some things. I mean, you can't avoid seeing that big First Order room
Right.
online.
So we knew of the bigger picture.
Right.
So we knew of the bigger things in the ride, such as the AT-ATs.
Right.
Such as the room full of stormtroopers.
Exactly.
But we didn't know certain things. But
Like who you're gonna meet,
So-
or who's gonna give you a mission, or things
we
like that.
we knew that morning because John Lorena went through every part of the ride.
Every beat, every story beat, every
what
who you're gonna
animatronics
meet.
you're gonna see. And here's the press. All like we're most of us are squirming because we don't want to know this stuff.
We're in the front row going, oh.
And even Scott Trowbridge said spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, then wasn't there a rehearsal, or didn't you look over this agenda before going up on stage to know what was gonna happen?
It was
Oh, it was like 6 or 7 minutes of excruciating, just sitting there trying to hold your ears or go la 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 la
yeah.
la la.
And meanwhile, on the screen behind them, they were like playing kind of some of these moments from the ride, so we just kind of looked away. But luckily, I mean, honestly, having ridden later that day, it did not in any way damper the experience.
No, you just try not to let those words sink in.
Exactly.
And we would show you this. However, they told the press we could not record this panel because they wanted the attraction to be the star of the day. What? Of course it's going to be the star of the day. So there's going to be another reason why, just not sure why.
Right.
Or else you would have seen all of us going, ah, la 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 la.
Yeah, so we won't have that video to share with you on YouTube.
Well, in our video, we show you the intro to the panel.
That's true. And we were allowed to audio record it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we'll release that to maybe the Skywalking Force.
Yeah.
Okay, Skywalking Force, there you go. Now, from there, we were escorted past the 100 or so people that were waiting to get into the park at Rope Drop and brought to the Rise of the Resistance attraction. And for months, we've always wondered what was on the other side of the gates of the attraction. And we didn't have to wait any longer.
No. And on the way over there, we met up with Holly Fry from Full of Sith. So it was really cool to see her. And she had actually ridden the East Coast Batuu version of Rise of the Resistance several times. So she was excited to ride with us and see our reactions.
Yeah, it was so sweet that she was really anxious to see how we were going to react to some of the story beats.
Yeah, it was fun.
Now, Sarah, once we're in the queue, what was your impression? Because we had just spoken to James Burns and Dave Parfit a couple of months ago when they had gone to the the East Coast Rise of the Resistance press day, and we asked them about the queue, the line getting in.
Right.
And they went on and on and on, so I was really excited about this.
Okay.
However, you know what? I just gotta say, there wasn't as much stuff as I thought there was going to be.
Oh,
and just
really?
the queue itself.
Okay. What were you envisioning exactly?
Well, James had mentioned that there were some Star Wars Holiday Special Easter eggs in there, so I was excited
Really?
to see those.
Okay.
And what you actually see is just a couple of lockers full of blasters, some rifles, and some Resistance flight outfits.
Well, one of the cool things in the lockers, though, was the breath mask that you see in Empire Strikes Back.
Right, and you also see Finn wearing it in Rise of the Resistance when Rey jumps from the Death Star onto the Falcon. So, as for that, and there was like some set dressing, you had a lot of fun crates and barrels and a box full of chargers.
You mean Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, what did I say?
Rise of the Resistance. I was confused.
Okay, yeah, in Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
There we go again. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of Kylo Ren. Too many rises. Okay, in Rise of Skywalker, yeah, we see Finn wearing that.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
So there was some set dressing that you would see like on Smuggler's Run, but not as much fun stuff to look at.
Yes.
However, we were very, very excited to see that they have incorporated seating benches
Yeah.
all along the way, because you're
Not the whole way, but there's
most of the way.
Yeah.
You do have seating benches that were carved into the walls.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Nice.
So what a great idea. They really needed that in Flight of Passage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Avatar ride.
Well, that's Flight of Passage.
Oh, what?
Flight of Passage is the Avatar ride.
Yeah. What did I say?
You just said and the Avatar ride, and we were referring to the same thing.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
But it was also really fun to see that this is where Vi Marati in the novel Black Spire.
Go ahead. Sorry, I was going to bring that up, but you go ahead.
Oh no, you know what? I'm stealing yours. Okay, I'm going on and on and on. But no,
Okay.
you go ahead.
All right, I'm
Well, I
sorry.
didn't want to just go with negatives.
Oh, I got you. Well, okay, so let me say one of my positive things, and then we can get back
Which is
to that.
also my big positive thing.
Well, no. I have something else to say. And so for me, I actually really loved the queue, having just heard Kirsten Michaela, who is the art director for this ride. She talked about the 3 environments going on in Batuu and how they all come together in Rise of the Resistance. So she talked about the ancient civilization, the scrappy resistance, and the polished First Order. And all these are like elements you see throughout Galaxy's Edge, but in the queue, especially, they start coming together. Like you start out in the ancient civilization, and then you see elements coming in of the resistance. So you see the resistance lockers, you see some of these items, these items that you see. And then as you get deeper into, well, the ride itself, because the queue kind of turns into the ride, then you get the First Order. So I thought they did that super well, and it was so cool just having heard her talk about that to see it in action minutes later.
Yeah, that did not have any impression on me.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I was just expecting more to look at.
Okay.
And the stuff that we did look at, it was just in one particular area. And so, but the positive thing I want to say,
Yeah.
and Sarah, you jump in on this because I see that we have the same positive about the queue, is that if you read the novel Black Spire by Delilah Dawson, you read in the book that this is where Vi had gone into these caves and this temple, very much like we see Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, but now Vi has got to clear out all of these traps. She's got to pretty much build a new resistance base.
Right. And it's all kind of demonstrated in the novel, but here you're actually seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool. And do you remember seeing some things that looked like they might have been cleared traps within the queue?
Oh yeah, there's stuff dug out from the walls, things that that at this one point this was a booby trap.
It looked like dried blood coming down from this thing on the wall, and
Yeah.
yet it had been cleared. Like there was a blank space in the wall behind it.
So just like anything with Star Wars, the more you read or watch, the more you'll get out of it. And having just read Black Spire, I was picturing Vi in here digging out all of this stuff to make way for this new base.
I agree. And I wonder if sometimes she goes through the queue. Like the actor in Galaxy's Edge. I wonder if she wanders through the queue sometimes, since this is her base. And
Yeah.
we do have a Skywalker posting in our Facebook group this morning that he rode the ride, and he says that he got to meet Chewie and Vi during our wait.
Oh.
So Drew Denny says
Okay.
this. So maybe, Drew, was that in the attraction queue itself? Let us know.
Oh yeah, great. And even John Zoncanaro, a SkyTuber,
Oh, yeah.
said that he's glad that he had read the novel, and now when you go into the queue, you'll get so much more out of it.
Definitely.
All right, now let's get to the attraction, and let's give some highlights. We won't go through the whole thing.
Yeah, so if you're trying to stay away from anything, this is your spoiler warning. If you don't mind hearing a little bit, then we're going to get into some details, but not give you the full,
Yeah, more of our reactions.
Yeah.
Now the attraction starts when you walk into this room and you're met by BB-8, and Rey appears as a hologram and gives you instructions. We're gonna roll in a clip here. Now in Rey's instructions, she says that Batuu is no longer safe and the Resistance is moving you to their new base on Bakara. Bakara. Now, we had seen behind the scenes on this ride, and we thought she had said Bakura, which was a reference to the 1993 expanded universe novel Truce at Bakura. So we were all excited. But no, this is something different. This is a whole new planet. But now, in the end of the ride, you never make it to Bakara. You crash land back on Batuu. So after all the work Vi had done to make this base on Batuu, well, now you have to leave at the beginning of the attraction. That's the whole premise. You got to get out of here because the First Order is here.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see a hologram of Vi going, seriously? After months and months of killing myself,
Aw.
of almost blowing myself up numerous times, now we got to leave. Yeah,
Aw.
thanks, First Order. So you leave on one mission, but you never really fulfill that because you're coming right back.
Well, because stuff happens, right?
Now, I'm very shocked that they didn't tie this into Rise of Skywalker. Instead of making it Bakara, why not make it Ajan Kloss, which is the base we see in Rise of Skywalker. That's the jungle planet.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the answer is purely because in the timeline they have to make this attraction, that stuff has to be written way before, the movie, and, they were developing this ride for 5 years.
Right, but this is a line Rey says, and it wouldn't be that hard to re-record her saying Ajan Kloss instead of Bakara. And you could have covered up the lip sync with like a glitch in the hologram.
Right.
So yeah, and that base would have been set up on Ajan Kloss and on this timeline.
It makes sense, and I would have loved to see that tie-in. But regardless, I mean, the attraction is amazing, and you're kind of in the ride when you don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's the whole immersive theater part that starts right then when you walk in this room and you see BB-8 rolling around above you, and when you see Rey's hologram, that
Yes.
room that starts the adventure.
Right. So then then you're off and running. You're supposed to board this transport, and so the door opens, and you see a life-size transport along with Poe's X-Wing and BB-8 right there. And oh, that was so exciting.
Oh, you were going crazy for that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, BB-8 and Poe, like, it was like we were in the beginning of The Force Awakens. It was right there in front of you, and I just loved it. And it was a beautiful morning, too. Like, I gotta say, it was just, the light was filtering through perfectly. And how often do you get to ride an attraction where the ride is as big as it's supposed to be in real life? Like, that never happens. I guess Jungle Cruise it does, but still, you don't see that when it's something from an IP, I guess I'm saying, you know.
And so at this point, you're brought onto a shuttle commanded by Lieutenant Breck, who is Mon Calamari.
Yeah.
And things just go haywire from there. And I would say that to equate this with anything would almost be like Forbidden Journey, the Harry Potter ride, the Transformer ride, and the Spider-Man ride at Universal.
Right.
Because you are incorporated into a story, but here you're not just in a ride and things are happening around you, because you're then captured by the First Order.
Right.
And you have these cast members who are the First Order officers, and now they're bringing you places and they're barking orders at you, and it's very, very immersive.
Well, yeah, because I mean they really set it up so that, you know, you go on, let's say, Big Thunder Mountain, and you have your cast members asking, how many in your party? How many in your party? Okay, go gates 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and if you think about it, that's very what is that called? Bossy, typical, but bossy. So they made the First Order officers do that same thing, get you ready for a ride queue, but in their First Order way, which is how it's so immersive.
When we first heard about this, we knew that part of it was a walking attraction, and you get onto the cargo shuttle. We thought, well, we're gonna walk. What?
Oh, yeah.
But it really is. You're fearing for your life, because the first thing they bring you into is the Star Destroyer hangar bay, and this set is just immense. That's where you see the whole phalanx of stormtroopers standing there, and you have the First Order commanders barking at you. So yeah, it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, and they let you kind of mill about that room a little bit too. I wonder what they do if you stay too long. They bark orders at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
John says, hangar is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, that hangar made a huge impression on our round table of Skywalkers. You'll hear that later.
Because it's just so big. So at that point, you're... Oh, go ahead.
John says, they told me to move along.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, John.
Yeah, if you see in our video, you have several First Order cast members saying, move along, move along. Apparently, that's like a saying. It's almost like, I have spoken, or this is the way. In the First Order, it's move along.
I love it.
Oh, we did get shirts made up of that.
Oh. Well, it's great because you can try to tease them all you want, but all you get is like this stare. So cool.
Yeah, even having ridden it a couple of times that press day, you just can't take in the impact the way you want it to, because it's just so impressive with the stormtroopers all staring at you, and some of them are animatronics because they move.
Their heads move, their guns move.
Yeah, and just the size of it. I just can't go over this enough. The size of this set is just awe-inspiring.
And we're not even in the main ride part of it.
This is still part of the immersive theater part, because you're incorporated into the storyline that you're now captured, and now you're gonna be brought into the Star Destroyer for probably execution.
Exactly. Well, no, you're going to be brought for interrogation.
Then execution.
But Clockworks says that the first time they went on the ride, the Imperial officer says, move along, sympathizers, when we lingered in the hangar. So, yeah, nice.
So we won't give too many spoilers from here, too many details. But once again, you watch our video and you'll see just our reaction, just amazed at what's going on. And the one thing I always pray that Disney does not change, and that is, let's see more animatronic figures than projected images.
Yeah, and they did a great job with that. I mean, once you finally board a transport, it's this trackless vehicle that you've probably seen that's driven by an R5 droid. And that takes you around this Star Destroyer that you're stuck in. And that, I mean, like, you're already blown away. And at that point, there's things that happen that, like, it's hard to describe. It's, like, so cool to see this life-size happening in front of you. So, like, I don't even want to, like, describe it.
As many times
Because
as
I
we
think
have,
you should experience it.
as many times as we've been on this, I still don't feel like we've seen the full entire attraction.
Yeah.
The whole story. Because once again, there's so much going on.
Oh, and we do have to give a tip. If you are riding and can ride twice, try to get there's 2 basically tracks that you can take with that trackless vehicle. And, you know.
The colors.
The colors,
colors
yes.
will coordinate which way you go. The red and blue, that's the
one way.
Cargo transport, the first order troop transport
Yes.
that you want to get on, because you'll see a better point of view than the other side, which is gray and orange.
Yeah, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, hey, did we go over the boarding pass tips yet?
Not yet, but I do think they're coming up. Yeah,
Okay.
right down here.
Okay, all right, so we'll go into that in a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Now, after we disembarked from that first time on Rise of the Resistance, who's at the gate but Scott Trowbridge and his band of Imagineers?
Yeah, at the exit.
Yeah, he's just standing there. I think they're just watching people's reaction, and we yell over, and he's like a little boy who was
schoolboy.
just told he did good, because he's just so happy and just pumping his fist and so grateful that we had told him how much we loved the ride.
And you'll see that moment in our video.
Yeah.
really
Luckily,
cool.
our cameras were still rolling, and we got that part.
It was amazing. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also on this press day after our first ride, we couldn't ride for a while because they had closed down the queue because Bob Iger was riding, apparently.
Bob.
I know, but luckily, outside of the queue, they had 2 of the Imagineers there to talk with. And they were talking about the Play Disney Parks app. So just so you guys know, the Play Disney Parks app has updated at Disneyland, and it now offers 2 new missions that correspond with Rise of the Resistance. You can choose to either help Finn get out of a Star Destroyer, and I started that mission in the queue at one point. It was fun. I didn't finish it, but I started it. And then, or you can help the First Order by spying on the Resistance as you wait in the queue, which I want to try that next time. I think that'll be fun. So those are the 2 things you can do. And we were able to speak with Imagineers Anisha Deshmani, who is an assistant producer on this app, and Kelsey McCullough, who is the product management on the app. So let's hear what they have to say about the Play Disney Parks app and what they've experienced from guests.
And there you have it.
And we'll just play, not the whole thing, we'll just play some clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll play that on our show. So immersive and so fun. All right, so Richard.
So we actually rode Rise of the Resistance 3 times on that press day, and then we wanted to wait to ride it again when we were with our Skywalkers the next day.
Yeah, we didn't want to ride it more than 3 times.
Yeah.
It would have kind of, I don't know, I didn't want it to be so stuck in my head.
You wanted it to be new.
Yeah.
Like Galaxy's Edge, we didn't want to go too many times during that first couple of weeks because we want it to stay fresh and new.
Even though we did.
That didn't stop us from going 75 times.
That's true.
But, it's like seeing a new Star Wars film. You don't want to see it too many times because you want it to stay fresh and new every single time. That's just for us. I know that a lot of Skywalkers will want to see it 86 times opening weekend, and that's plenty valid for you. That's great, because now we can call you up and say, hey, who said this, or what was that?
Yeah. What happens after this? Yeah.
Now, the Skywalkers that joined us were Peter Heitman.
That's my dad.
Ghost host David Scale, Courtney and Kelly Turkel. I know we've been saying Turkel the last couple of months, but
I know.
we were just told it's Turkel.
Also Johnny Pobray, Georgia Peach, and Jeff Peterson. So thank you guys. We had a great group. It was really fun.
Now, that day, Sarah...
The opening day?
Now, the next... Now, on that day, the meetup day, January 17th, when we met up with the Skywalkers, we got there at 5:30 a.m. because we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
And judging from the crowds on the East Coast who were getting there at like 5:30, we thought,
5:45 a.m.
yeah, we got to get there very early.
Right.
And how is this going to work? We didn't know. The gates opened to the park around, I want to say 6 a.m.
Well, what happens is that a line forms outside the gates, and if it reaches all the way back to DCA, they start letting people into Disneyland.
Yeah,
So
and
that's what happened at about 6 a.m., 5:45 a.m.
there were hundreds and hundreds of people already there.
And so we started going really fast. I'm like, wow, they're really making this line really short. But then we realized that they were letting people into the parks.
Yeah. That plaza was just filled with people.
Yeah.
And we couldn't log on to the app to get a boarding pass until 8 a.m.
Right.
And predicting an app breakdown, as we've experienced in the past, the Disney apps do break down, they were going to offer hard copy passes at a few kiosks.
Yeah, namely the Buzz Lightyear kiosks and the Splash Mountain kiosks. That's what we were told at first.
And we weren't going to go anywhere near Splash Mountain.
No.
So we went to Buzz Lightyear. So we got in line for those passes just to be safe.
And I got in line for Starbucks for about an hour.
Oh, longer than that. And so 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. came.
Yep.
And they let people start lining up at the kiosks. And it was a madhouse. It was a ravenous madhouse. People were jumping over the chain ropes. People were breaking them down. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a mob like that at Disneyland. And we were, well, I was livid. I was with Dave and Sarah, your dad. Mm-hmm. And we were watching everyone who were in the back of the line all of a sudden charge forward to get these passes. Oh, livid. There were people being pushed and pulled and kids being thrown around. Not by us, but by other people.
It was a madhouse.
And then finally you said, oh, Rich, don't bother because we already got in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they had logged on to the app and all of us were in one boarding group and we ended up, at the end of the day, getting boarding group 65.
Yes.
And on the app it says that boarding group 82 and lower are like guaranteed to get in that day. So we were like, oh, okay. Yeah, Kelly says it was scary.
It was very scary. I'm not kidding when I say I've never seen such a ravenous mob.
Right.
Not on social media, but right there in person.
Yeah. So basically, tips for getting a boarding pass is you just need to be scanned in the park gates by 8 a.m. to have a chance, really, because they go in like a minute. Yeah. Pretty much.
And that's 8 a.m. on the dot.
Right.
8:01 a.m., you're not getting in.
You're missed out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people are whoever's in the park is logging in and getting their boarding pass. Now, so that's an option. Now, one thing to note is on your app, you can open up the app and have your app open before 8 a.m. And then right in the front page of your app.
Don't go into the Rise of the Resistance at that point. Yeah. But just go to the front page of the app.
So just be in the front page of your app, and when 8 a.m. changes on your clock, then you click on the Find Out More tab under the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance Access Boarding Group. And by doing that, it will have updated as of 8 a.m. and you can then, a button will be available to say Join Boarding Group. And that way you'll be able to join as fast as you can. And also another tip, if you're trying to board with other people, have those passes loaded into your park's app, the tickets and passes section. So have them loaded. Only the people who are going to be in your boarding group, because otherwise you have to take time to uncheck people. So make sure you just delete any tickets and passes of people who aren't there, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Okay? So those are some good tips, and that'll help you save a few seconds, which could mean the difference between boarding group 20 and boarding group 80.
And not even being able to ride Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Which has happened to some people. They'll get there 8 a.m. and they're in groups 83 or 104.
Right.
And they don't make it on the ride.
Right. So that being said, there is about, I would say on average, 10 boarding groups per hour during the day. And they do stop calling new boarding groups 2 hours before park close, because when you are called for your boarding group, you have 2 hours to ride.
So we were in group boarding pass 65, and we
Yes.
got on at 4 p.m.
And that was with like 2 ride breakdowns in between.
Right.
Yeah. And there was like another ride breakdown after us, and they got through about 114 boarding groups on that first day. So it's been getting over 100 most days, but just in case it does break down, they only really guarantee 82.
Yeah. Now Kelly Turkel on YouTube, that SkyTuber, says each day that number changes. They'll read your boarding pass carefully.
Oh, okay, the number that's guaranteed. I would
Right.
assume so, because there's different hour, like the park is open for a different number of hours per day. So that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So we logged in at 8 a.m. Didn't ride until 4 p.m. So we had 8 hours to run Disneyland. Just
And
run
yeah.
through the park, go on rides, more rides than we've ever been on before. More rides than we've ever been on before. It was a blast.
It really was, because once you get that boarding group, you can then plan your day. Like, if you weren't planning on spending all day at Disneyland, then if you got boarding group 80, it's like, well, peace out. I won't be riding till 6 p.m. or later, you know? So we noticed that even though how crowded it was that morning, like all day, you could almost walk on Haunted Mansion. We got on Star Tours, like, what, a 10-minute wait? Like, it was a great day.
Yeah. A great day. Went on Star Tours twice.
Yes.
Guess how many times I was Rebel Spy? Zero. I even wore my birthday button. And nothing. What do I need to do, people? What do I need to do?
Not have a kid in the
Yeah.
in your
Once
ride.
again, like I always say, even if I was on there alone, I still wouldn't be picked.
Aww.
John Zancanaro asks if we did Splash Mountain. That's a big fat no.
No.
Oh, Kelly says that today's guaranteed groups was only 71. Whoa.
Yes. And Courtney says it was stressful to get a boarding group. Yeah, I mean, that stress before 8 a.m. is like, oh my gosh. And yeah, Courtney was the one pressing the buttons. So, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Courtney.
She's got very fast thumbs.
Yes, that was awesome. Woo! And it was really fun taking my dad around Disneyland too, because he hasn't got there in a couple years. And we used to go to all the theme parks together when I was a kid and ride all the big scary rides. And my mom she never could, so she would have coffee. So my dad and I had fun going around, and we even went to the Tiki Room together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a fantastic day, and I have never seen so many Star Wars shirts, hats, and Star Wars Disney bounding that I saw that day.
And
it was
Baby
cool.
Yoda shirts.
Yeah, and lots of these Spirit jerseys.
So eventually 4 p.m. rolled around and we all got on the attraction. It was so much fun to ride Resistance with the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we didn't even make it out of the ride before we pulled out our recorder and recorded a round table that featured Dave Scale, Courtney, and Kelly Turkel, Georgia Peach, and the Turkel's friend, and the Turkel's friend, Johnny.
And my dad. Did we say my dad? Did my dad join us?
And Sarah's dad.
Cool. We'll play that. Oh, here we go.
All right. Here we go, people. All right, sit down for this, okay? Grab a hot Black Spire chocolate because this is a story now.
Can I have one now?
Go ahead, because I've got some things to tell the Skywalkers.
Okay, here we go.
Now, we had mentioned at the beginning of the show that there was a running gag that went terribly wrong. Now, if you recall, when Galaxy's Edge opened, I made a comment on the show that I was so excited to get there and to be there that I was going to lick the Millennium Falcon.
It just kind of popped out of your mouth. It was
Yeah.
like one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very SpongeBob thing. When SpongeBob gets excited, he licks things.
Oh, is that where it's from?
It's not, but that's what my friend Sam said.
Okay.
When I told him the story. He said, "Oh, you like SpongeBob?" Okay.
All right.
So we took a picture of me pretending to lick the Falcon and posted it, and everyone got a big chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
So this time I thought, I would continue the gag by licking a control panel in the queue for Rise of the Resistance. And wouldn't it be funny if I was pretending to lick a red button?
Pretending being the key word.
That's just checking off all boxes there.
Right.
Now keep in mind that I never licked the button because that's disgusting.
Yeah, we all know that's disgusting.
Yeah, and I posted it and moved on with our day. And not too long afterwards, I got a panic call from Donald Wicks, who told me to look at the post, Rich. Look at the post of you licking the control panel.
The red button, yeah.
I was horrified. I was horrified to see all of the disgusted and hurtful remarks I was getting.
It was like totally taken literally.
Way out of context.
And way out of context, yeah. It was like, okay, well, I guess we'll just delete this because obviously it's not getting what we expected.
Yeah, didn't get the chuckles we got the first time around.
Exactly, yeah.
But then it got even worse.
Yes, because
someone from Backstage Humor, their Facebook page,
they had screenshotted our post already, so...
But then someone from Backstage Humor, someone on the Backstage Humor Facebook page, they had screenshotted the post I had shared, and it went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were outraged. And I'm not just saying a little miffed, but they were outraged all in caps with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
But they never bothered to look at the photo where you could clearly see that I was not licking the panel. It was like sticking my tongue out at the panel.
Right.
And I think at this point it's like a little under 500 comments.
Yeah.
Now, I want to thank all the Skywalkers who came to my defense, telling everyone it was just a joke picture.
Yeah, thank you all, Skywalkers.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of your comments there, too.
Russell Flores told Backstage Humor that it was a joke. It was a joke picture. Get a grip, people. and they added an update. Backstage Humor added an update to the post saying it was just a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine and all and well, but we're still getting comments.
Yeah, and we're still getting like all day like people writing not recommending our Facebook page. So we want to thank Skywalkers who saw that and decided to recommend our Facebook page. So there's a lot of activity there. So thank you guys for doing that. And
Yeah.
it was just wow, it was crazy. All this was happening and it was your birthday, Richard, and then it was the day we were going around. Like we couldn't pay much attention to it but we want to thank all you Skywalkers for looking out for us.
Yeah, very, 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 very grateful for all you Skywalkers.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're right now we're in contact with Facebook about having them contact them to say, all right, joke's over, take it down.
Yeah.
Now, in the end, I learned nothing. I learned nothing, but it solidified the truth that people just don't bother to see if there is truth in a post before jumping on the bandwagon. There was a definite mob mentality here.
Yes.
And I'm just happy we are out of real world problems to worry about. And people can put so much energy into something like this instead of bettering fandom or the world. And yet I still can't stop wondering what the Rise of the Resistance tastes like.
Ew. Oh boy.
Yeah. So we had that adventure going on those 2 days that we were there.
Although I think we did learn that we will probably post those pictures in our Facebook group where people get it. Instead of publicly.
Clearly all you got was one guy who took it the wrong way and posted it everywhere.
Yeah. So
Thanks, guy. Thanks a lot.
So Skywalkers, once again, thank you for understanding, and we can tell you guys listen to our podcast because that's our story.
The end.
Well, this is where the shout-outs come in because a lot of you Skywalkers, you recommended our Facebook page. So we want to share a post from you guys. So Tom Wyman recommended Skywalking Through Neverland. He says, I listen every week. Always the dose of positivity I need whenever I'm feeling stressed from life or just down. Thank you for what you two do. And to the group, always fun and great conversation.
Oh, thank you, Tom. Now, Robin Beck also recommended Skywalking Through Neverland because Robin's a smart person just like Tom. Not like those other people who just said, hey, look at this picture. I'm going to jump forward, not look at it, and just post what is not there. There you go. End commentary. Now, Robin says their enthusiasm for all things Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars is fantastic. Is fantastic. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to. It has expanded my horizon. You have both inspired me so much. I love to hear that. I've done a Run Disney race, and I'm actually heading to my first celebration this year.
Yay!
Hope to finally get to meet you.
Well, Robin, we will have some meetups, so definitely we want to meet you. All right, Denise Power also recommends Skywalking Through Neverland, and she says, bright, fun commentary, keeping fans up to date. Happy living people who always spread love to bring all kinds of folks together. Aw, thank you, Denise.
Except when they're licking control panels.
Oh. So thank you, Skywalkers. Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Now, before we wrap up this week's episode, we have a new segment, and it is called This Week on Disney Plus. Or how about, should we call it just new, because it's not necessarily week? New on Disney Plus?
Okay. So let's start.
Okay.
Let's start again.
All right, Skywalkers, before we wrap up this episode, we have a new segment, and it is called New on Disney Plus. This is where we're going to share any stories or anything we're excited about that's coming to Disney Plus. So here we go. We are going to talk about...
All right, hold on. Before you go
Yes,
on,
go ahead.
I can't contain myself. We got a message from a SkyTuber, Kai324VKB, who says, hello, I have found your channel, and it's already one of my favorite channels.
Aww.
Thank you, Kai324VKB.
Kai1234. Yeah. Thank you, Kai.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
All right.
that's another shout out.
Yeah, there you have it. All right, so Sarah, what is coming up on Disney Plus?
Well, this week on January 24th, 2020, Disney Plus will debut Short Circuit. And that is a Walt Disney Studios experimental program that began in 2016. And it's several new shorts. And anyone working at Walt Disney Animation can pitch an idea for a short film, which could then be selected to create that original short film with the support of the studio and their fellow artists. So they actually take time out of their schedules working on the feature films and have a smaller group work for about 4 months total on a short that's about 1 minute long to 2 minutes long.
That is
somewhere in there.
That's what a fantastic program this is.
Yeah, it really is. And it's experimental because they experiment with different things. So on January 10th, we were invited to Walt Disney Studios to view all the 14 animated shorts that will be on Disney Plus, as well as talk with all 14 directors in a series of roundtables. And this is a really cool event, and you can head to our website right now for that article that's written about Short Circuit. You can go to skywalkingthroughneverland.com. And the article also contains all synopses of the films and director bios, so you can learn more about them.
Now, to be honest, when I first rolled up to this event, I thought we were just going to watch Short Circuit from 1985.
That's a good film.
It is, so there you go. Johnny Five is alive. Okay, I've seen the film, but let's go watch it again. Maybe they'll show us Short Circuit 2.
I think that's why they called it that. So that people would be like, oh, I know that name.
I even brought that up to some of the directors. They're like, what?
They're all pretty young, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them. So we thought we'd give you an overview of what we learned in that experience and what we learned about Short Circuit.
Now, the selection process is blind. So these
Anyone.
animators and people who work in the animation departments can submit an idea. And
Well, actually, it's any department in the studio. But,
I got the impression it was just in the animation department.
well, it was animation. There's people in editing. There's people in all the different departments that work on the film. I guess, I'm not sure if people in, say, like, the departments...
Like, I didn't see anyone winning from craft service.
Right. That's what I'm... Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, well, let's just say it's the whole studio. They submit their ideas, and the judges, who are unnamed,
Right.
will pick the selections, and the selections don't have the names on them of the writers and directors.
Right. So it's just they submit basically either sketches or storyboards and then a synopsis of their idea.
Which is great, because what if one of the judges, hey, this guy works in my department and I want to get him up
Exactly.
there. So it's like The Voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with Disney and animation.
Right. And overall, these are all experimental films. Like, they choose films that you can really experiment, either pushing the envelope, like visually or technically, perhaps musically, or even just story-wise. So there's all kinds of different things that they're experimenting with to just make the whole studios better as a whole.
And being and having worked on so many films, they have an idea of what goes into a film, the story beats, and I'm sure they've seen a film before and said, hey, I would do something differently, or have so many ideas to recommend and suggest. Like working on a film as I've done, my most creative times were working on those films, because you're just so inspired and you get to see what other people's jobs are like, and you get a great understanding of the medium and what makes a really good film just sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, similarly, I mean, the main thing that we got from this was that all these people who had submitted film became first-time directors. They got to work with all the different departments in the studio, touch people that they might not have ever come across in their regular day-to-day life. And through that process, they got to develop relationships. They have a greater understanding of what each department does. And basically, the whole experience helped them gain perspective on the whole of Walt Disney Studios. And in some cases, some of them even switched jobs because of their experience.
Now, we recorded a couple of these roundtables.
Yes, we did.
Where are we going to broadcast this?
So, we will have to decide. We might have to do an extra, special episode of that. We could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we might upload the raw footage, like everything of all those conversations, because there was 4 roundtables, to the Skywalking Force, so they can hear the whole thing.
Yeah, good idea, because you had a lot of really great questions.
Yeah.
From the media we had just seen these films, so they were fresh in our head, and you really get to go inside of the heads of these directors.
Yeah.
Now, Sarah, what were some of your give us 3 of your favorite of these short films?
Okay. So I am going to mention.
Don't mention mine. Don't mention the ones I have in my list.
Okay. So first and foremost, I'll mention the first one that we saw, which is Puddles.
Oh, dang it!
Oh, was that you're gonna mention that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was clearly the best one.
Oh, okay. It was by Zach Parrish, and it was the first one we saw. And the synopsis is: an adventurous young boy discovers that puddles can be portals to a fantastical world, but struggles to get his sister's attention away from her phone to see the magic in the world around her. What a commentary on today.
Yeah, it was really good. And all these films were, I would say, under 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were like
Most
a
of
minute
them
and a
were
half.
minute and a half to 2 minutes. But this one here was, like you said, Sarah, a great commentary on today, because you have this kid jumping into puddles and out of another puddle. It's very much like
God.
Doctor Strange.
It was awesome.
But yet, the sister has got her face buried in her iPhone.
Yeah.
She doesn't even notice that her brother is jumping dimensions through puddles.
Yeah, he jumps in a puddle, disappears, and pops out another puddle. It's awesome. So yeah, make sure to look forward to that one on Disney Plus.
All right, can I mention one of mine now?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'm going to go with Just a Thought.
Ooh, okay. I liked that one too.
This one here was directed by Byron Menz, and it's an awkward 12-year-old, and the story is an...
I think it's Brian.
Oh, is
Give me
it?
a second. Yeah, let me check.
Oh, hold on.
Brian.
Brian,
I
okay.
just did it wrong. Brian Mentz.
Directed by Brian Mentz. And in this one, an awkward 12-year-old boy named Ollie experiences bubble trouble when his true feelings for a girl are embarrassingly revealed in the form of a physical thought bubble.
This is a great concept. So the whole concept is, like in comics, that other people can see your thoughts, like the bubble above your head. And like the pictures in it and stuff. I thought that was great.
Now that I'm thinking about this, this same concept was used in the Spidey shorts and the
Really?
Electric Company.
Oh.
Remember that show?
Yeah. Well, I don't, but...
Yeah, okay, I'll wait for me to talk about it endlessly.
Yes.
And the other characters could look up and see Spider-Man's thoughts
How funny.
or what he's saying, because they didn't
Okay.
let Spider-Man talk for some reason. So yeah, it was. You can tell this happened to this director. And you know what? Who amongst us
Yes.
hasn't been embarrassed by this kind of thing when you like
Oh.
someone and someone says, you like that person.
Yeah.
But yet they know it because it's in a thought bubble and they can see it.
So he tries to hide. Well, you'll see it. You'll see
Yeah.
it. It's a cute
It's
short.
very, very cute and very well done, and
Yeah.
you can hear the snickering in the audience because once again, who amongst us?
Hasn't had that happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So another favorite of mine is Zenith. And this one is directed by Jennifer Stratton. And her whole concept was that she loves Fantasia, which I love too. So putting animation to music is really what she wanted to do here. So this is her synopsis. A luminous, ethereal stag bounds effortlessly through a dark expanse of the universe, leaving a galaxy of stars in its wake. When it accidentally creates a black hole that threatens to devour everything in sight, the stag is forced to make a decision that will leave a lasting impression.
A beautiful, beautiful looking film.
Yeah, I think the animation was our favorite in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It was gorgeous.
At the end, I couldn't tell you what the story was because I was just so mesmerized by the animation.
And the music was beautiful too. Like it was gorgeous. So we can't wait to share these directors' thoughts with you guys. And I do want to say that in our last roundtable, you asked a question, Richard, of what Easter eggs to look for.
I love my Easter egg questions.
Yes. So I just want to bring one up that you guys can look for when you watch these shorts on Disney Plus. All right, hold on. There was a drop. That drop. So there's one episode that begins that has a drop.
Yeah, Puddles.
Is it Puddles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, does Puddles come first and then drop?
In the lineup?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he mentioned that.
We can say the two tie in together.
Okay. So just look for, there's a short called Drop by Trent Corey, and this is basically following a raindrop in its cycle of life. But the drop is animated. It has little eyes and a little face. It's very cute. And so if you watch that episode and then watch Puddles immediately after, Puddles actually starts with that drop. And it's an Easter egg.
Dripping down from a traffic light. And that's supposed to be the same drop. So all of these, or some of these films are in the same universe.
Yeah. So watch out for that little fun Easter egg.
That should have been a requirement. that everything should have one thing that ties everything together. Kind of like the what is it, the pizza truck in all the Pixar movies.
Yes. Bugs and A Bug's Life showing up in Toy Story 2. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Then again, some of these films were all made in the last couple of years. So once a film was done, it's like, well, I have to go back and put in a pizza truck.
Well, another thing to look out for in these films is because they're at Walt Disney Animation, they have all of the things that have been developed, like, let's say, buildings for Zootopia or for Big Hero 6 or things that have been developed as models in their computer. Well, you'll see some of these show up in some of their shorts.
Right.
Because it's just easier to reuse something that's already created than create the entire thing.
You'll see a lot of stuff from Zootopia, Big Hero 6. I believe some things from Frozen, because a lot of these directors have worked on
Moana.
Frozen, Moana, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you think someone looks like little baby Moana, you're right. Yeah, so be on the lookout.
So once again, these will be premiering on Disney Plus on January the 24th.
Yeah, very soon. What is that, this Friday? Okay. All right, perfect. Is this still going? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Skywalkers. I hope that was helpful to you guys, because I always like knowing a little something about shorts before watching them.
Well, that does it for episode 274 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We'd like to thank all the Skywalkers who joined us for the Rise of the Resistance meetup, and all the Skywalkers who sent in their thoughts, and
recommended us as well. And also, we want to thank all of you listening to me.
All right, one more time. Well, that about does it for this episode 274 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We'd like to thank all the Skywalkers who joined us for our meetup at the Rise of the Resistance opening day. We want to thank Disney for having the press day on my birthday.
Yeah, we also want to thank Trisha Barr and James Burns.
And all the Skywalkers who came to my defense.
Yes. And of course, all of you Skywalkers listening right now.
And watching as a SkyTuber.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations. Did we get you excited for Rise of the Resistance? Well, you can go to smallworldvacations.com and fill out a Get a Quote form and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. And a reminder that their vacation planning service is free of charge.
Now, you can also find Skywalking Through Neverland over there at JediNews.co.uk and at Fanthatrax. And we are part of the Skywalking Network, where you can find other great shows like Sabers and Spells, Talking Apes, and classic Marvel Star Wars comics, which I really want to do another episode very, very soon.
You know what? We have time. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. You can also find us on social media, for better or for worse. We are at Skywalking Pod on Twitter and Instagram. We have our Facebook group, which is Skywalking Through Neverland. Just search Facebook for that and request to join, and then answer the questions that pop up. You can also email us. We are share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com. Did you just ride the ride? Or do you have some fun tips for people? Please, you can record a voice memo on your phone and just email that. share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
Now, Skywalkers, always remember never to lick red buttons.
And post on social media.
And...
Oh my god. So fun you had a huge highlight. Oh, cool.
Yeah, John, you won on your birthday too, right?
Wow, three wrote... Uh-oh. Oh, it just did that, because it just did that. It just turned off.
When?
I had checked right before our outro, so we'll probably have to redo the outro.
Okay.
That's okay. But we have it here. All right, Skywalkers. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Skywalkers. Woo! Oh, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
All right, now we'll see how much we recorded and what we had to re-record. Woo!
You sure? Right
I'm
before
positive.
the outro?
It was before the
Our
outro.
recorder just stopped.
Yeah.
Just turned off.
Bye, guys. It's okay.
Happy birthday, John.